Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Welcome back to Daily Transmission. We got the boys. We got the boys.
Like, witness me, fathers. Yo, y'all gotta. Hey, come on.
Hey.
Hey.
Wild, savage beast.
I came over here to get saved because Hank is a fucking monster. All right. He's just trying to hang out. Anyway, Zach is no longer the squarest body around.
Nah, man. Hey, you know what? We're bringing out the whole community here. Today, I'm pretty excited. I've seen some videos of this cat circulating on the internet of, well, let's say, burnouts with trailers, burnouts with Christmas trees, other assorted burnouts in his very, very clean, very cream 80s square body Chevy. What's up, man? Thank you for driving all the way across the country to come hang.
Wait, what?
You drove from, I mean, you're outside of Atlanta.
Just above Atlanta, Georgia.
That's a good 40 hours.
It's a little over 30.
Man.
That's heavy.
That's what did you say, 2,200 miles?
2,200 miles. I appreciate
This
it.
reminds me of Vinny's, but with clean paint, not patina paint.
And you found it like this, right? Like you haven't done any paint work or anything,
It
right?
has not been painted. This is all factory paint, everything. The exterior has not been touched except for the trim.
Okay,
That's it.
real quick, give me the Cliff's Notes version of how you bought it, because I was pretty upset when I heard this price.
So there's a lady up in Dahlonega. She's a county or two over from us. One of our buddies found the truck for me. She told me $1,200 for the truck. I went home that night, brought her cash, didn't offer a penny less. I knew it was worth it. It's a popular truck. I took it over there to her, put a battery in it, fired it up. I gave her the $1,200. Pulling out of the driveway, she walked up to me, handed me $400 back, and told me to enjoy it. So for $800. For $800, I drove this truck for a year with a 305 and a 700. I put a 383 in it for a couple months, drove it around. I found out, that it clowned pretty well. I ended up selling the 383 out of it, and this is what it become.
How much did you sell the 383 for?
I honestly don't remember. I honestly don't have, it was less than $3,000, so.
So this is a free,
Yeah, you've made money on this truck.
You made money.
Not after the engine work.
All right, well, speaking of which, pop this hood.
Hey,
look, this grill.
Line them up. Line them up.
He didn't come here to play games.
That's so good.
Now, you actually told me this truck runs, what, an 11.7?
11.7s, yeah. At the drag strip, it's been 11.70s. It's fun for what it is.
Yeah, and it's on leaf springs still. It's
It is on
crazy.
leaf springs.
Let's talk about the engine work here, because clearly not running a stock small block or 383. So what do you got here?
It is a LY6. It's been bored and stroked by our buddy Johnny Thomas. He runs an engine shop over by the house. It is a 416 stroker now. It is a 6.0. It's still got the stock 823 heads, stock intake, stock injectors, everything like that. The injectors are pretty well maxed out. That's about all they've got left. Other than that, it's a heavily built bottom end, and the top end I still have a little bit of room to grow. So
Nice.
What kind of power? You said I couldn't hear you over the
I
doggy.
honestly don't know what kind of
you
power
just
it makes.
put it together
It's been on a
and-
dyno, and they didn't want to push it. So
Hey, come on. Can't keep those two together. All right, so you know what kind of cam you got in there?
yeah, it is actually a Texas Speed. It's a 229, 236 cam. It's got a 627, 617 lift on a 112 LSA.
Yo, I couldn't hear this thing coming in. Let's see.
That's a call out.
Look, man, you want to be the champion of every single parking lot and stoplight?
You don't have color matched intake.
No, dude, this is actually a real hard flex.
Valve covers.
Oh, you got the valve
You're
covers?
getting stunted on.
I'm getting stunned on
the
pretty
water
hard.
pump was color matched, and right before the power tour this year, I had to pull it off. It was leaking, it went out, and I didn't have time. It was literally the day before we left. I put the AC on, and when I pulled it off, I noticed it was leaking, and so that's where it all happened.
Yeah, let's just take a moment to appreciate this man for this and this. I mean, AC is a big deal.
Is that the same kind of setup you have, or is
No. I don't know. What kind of AC you got going
That
here?
is a LS Simple. The guy actually lives right below Atlanta. He's close to the house. Super awesome guy. I think it blew like 34. on the power tour. So, and that's in the middle of summer. So
Everyone knows the worst part about power tour.
The heat.
the heat. You're right.
This is a big ass radiator, by the way.
It is. It is. That was done by one of our buddies at Autorad, and it keeps it cool for sure. So
This is like a real. I mean, this is basically a daily driver.
it is basically a daily driver. I've driven it a whole lot. I've actually put 60,000 miles on the truck itself. So
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If you got a truck, a car, if it's LS powered, it's a daily driver. It doesn't matter how much power it has, what kind of juice, what kind of cam, doesn't matter. It's a daily driver.
Hey, I get Well, look, this has creature comforts, right? You know what I mean? And it
I'm
stays.
just saying, like all these motors, you can daily in any form. It's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, I daily mine.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
Well, hell yeah, man. So let's get into some other stuff here. I mean, the suspension is stock. You just got a lowering kit, right?
It is a 5.7 drop. I've adjusted it a little bit. It's actually a hair under that. It's about a 5.5, 7.5.
What you looking at?
You got cup holders?
I don't. I'm actually about to step my seat game up tonight, though. I got it.
Over here.
Hey. hey,
Hey, you can't walk around flopping that BFD around.
I got no cup holders.
Yeah,
You know what? Go home. This is my truck now. It's my truck now. This is really clean in the inside, man. I mean, yours isn't.
I mean, this is a grandma truck?
It was.
Man, see,
sick.
this is real nice. And you got the little. What's this right here? What's this right here on the shifter?
It's a little line lock.
Okay. See, that's smart. I need that.
Everybody needs that.
Everyone needs that, yeah. You got the rubber floor. Obviously, you got the electronic pedal control. See, you made a little standoff for it.
I did.
Isn't that a bitch?
I was getting about 50% throttle, so I found a way to make it 100.
Okay. And then you got the OG style radio. Who makes these gauges?
Those are actually Dakota Digital.
Real simple, right?
They're jam up. They're awesome. I love them.
This is a sweet truck.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
00000.
Yeah. I was asking. What's the deal with that?
They had those tags as sample tags in the courthouse. My dad actually found that, and I told him, I was like, look, I need this. It's super cool. And I actually made little stickers to make it from my county, my birthday in '85. So it was just something neat, a little bit different to throw on there.
Oh, okay. So you September.
Yeah. Line them up as your actual plate.
Yeah.
Up is my actual
That's a hard ass plate.
That's a good.
I've got the one for the back, and I pulled it off because the tolls out here, man, I didn't want it to charge me twice.
So what are you running for rear end? And we didn't even get in the drivetrain yet.
It is a Curry 9-inch rear end from the guys over at Curry. I actually ended up getting it in a pretty cool way. We found it on Craigslist. The guys had it in a truck. I guess it wasn't the right gear for them. It had a 14 gear. I ended up throwing it in the truck, and I put a 373 gear in it, and it already had Wildwood disc brakes. It just worked out. It was kind of like a magical thing. So that left me some room to upgrade the transmission. John Tessier at Tessier Performance, he built the transmission for me.
What you got in there?
It is a 4L80. It's got a Circle D 3600 stall triple disc billet converter. Yep.
Triple disc billet converter? Those are words I've never heard.
Yeah.
Welcome to the wonderful world of automatic transmissions.
You have a triple disc?
I do have a triple disc billet converter.
It runs, 70 miles an hour, a little bit under 2,500. 80 miles an hour, I'm right at 2,500 RPM cruising down the highway. But 20 miles a gallon is about where it ranges at on the highway. Red light to red light, not so much. So.
Yeah, and then I noticed you got also some traction bars on the.
I do.
Okay.
I've got some cow tracks. They're for the flip kit. They kind of help it out. It doesn't help it hook on these tires at all, but
ain't nothing helping those.
Put a set of stickies on it, and it does pretty well. Chris McBrayer over at Silver City Tire, he's always helped me out. I go through a lot of tires, so they definitely help me out a lot.
So if you like to do burnouts, call that dude. Hound him for some sponsorship.
My buddy Lance Dishroom, he did the tuning on it. It's just street tuned. I cannot say enough about how awesome that it is. I took it to a couple local shops.
So are you running HP tuners?
It is HP tuners.
Okay.
It's a factory computer, and it's also got the transmission computer in it. So we went, test drove it for a couple hours, and finally got it dialed in, and we knock on wood, we haven't had to touch it since. It's been incredible.
Hell yeah. Well, why don't you fire this thing up? Let's hear what she's got. I wish my truck was in this good a shape. What kind of exhaust you got? Like, what's the setup?
It's got Speed Engineering long tube headers, back to some Magnaflows. Our buddy Jeff Johnson by the house done it for me. It goes out those mufflers, and then I've also got electric cutouts. So.
Oh, really? You want to open one of them up? Oh, so that's what that switch is. 6. Actually, I'm gonna give you a 7.6 because the truck's too nice.
Zach's ratings are inconsistent. You're all over the place. I need to know what your scale is.
There is no scale. It's whatever I want.
That was a jealousy rating.
That was a joke. It's got good chop.
Just quieting it up for you.
Yeah, I need that in my life.
You really need that.
I really need that, yeah.
What's up?
Well, yeah, man, you want to party at this thing or what?
Ready to party, man.
Let's get it. God damn, can't see a fucking thing. God damn! God damn!
Boy's got hands, huh?
Yeah, man. That thing stays nice and planted. She looks like she let go a lot of her coolant, but
You can start putting on little tires in the back.
yeah.
So you can walk it like that.
Yeah. My man! She a little hot, little warm.
That was sick.
That was sick
That
as...
was really sick.
That was hard.
This truck is sick.
This truck gets
You
down.
do that a lot, huh?
I do that a
'Cause
lot.
You got some hands.
I do that a lot.
You walking it like you're talking.
I do that a lot.
Hell yeah. That looked good. Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out here.
Thank you.
Putting it down, showing the people how it's done. So we got one last thing we got to do, right? That's a wrap! He actually has a story about Brian with the Nova in 2015.
Oh,
I
really?
do. We're in a disclosed location, and then here comes Scotto coming up behind me. We kind of line up. He didn't hesitate. He just took off. And I tried to run him down, but that 555 is pretty bad, so.
So what he's trying to say is, Scotto, please give the people what they want.
Give me the hit.
That-